What has been viewed by some historians as an indication of strong anti Catholic sentiment in the presidential election of 1928. Alfred E. Smith's failure to carry a solidly Democratic South. The Battle of Antietam, the Battle of Antietam, September 17th, 1862, is considered pivotal to the outcome of the Civil War because it forestalled the possibility of European intervention. Presidents who came to prominence as wartime generals: Dwight D. Eisenhower, Ulysses S. Grant, Andrew Jackson, George Washington. In the early stages, the Sherman Antitrust Act was applied to break up labor unions. The idea of manifest destiny included the use of land for settled agriculture was preferable to its use for nomadic hunting. Westward expansion was both inevitable and beneficial. God had selected America as a chosen land and people. The ultimate extent of the American domain was to be from the tropics to the Arctic. Liberty of conscience was defended by Roger Williams on the grounds that the state was an improper and ineffectual agency in matters of the spirit. Frederick Jackson Turner's frontier hypothesis focused on the importance of the existence of cheap, unsettled land. The Free Silver Campaign of 1896 received support from farmers who thought that a larger money supply would ease their debt. The American Colonization Society was established in the early 19th century with the goal of transporting African Americans to Africa. The Truman Doctrine was initiated to assist nations facing hostile takeovers by communist governments. The open door policy in 1899 was primarily concerned with trade with Asia. The Embargo Act of 1807 had what effect on the U.S.? It disrupted American shipping. Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka was a Supreme Court decision that declared racially segregated public schools inherently unequal. The Tet Offensive of 1968 during the Vietnam War demonstrated that the Viet Cong could attack major cities throughout South Vietnam. During the first half of the 19th century, reform movements attempted to accomplish bring an end to slavery, convince people to stop drinking alcohol, provide treatment for the mentally insane, rehabilitate criminals. The motion picture The Jazz Singer in 1927 was the first major film to feature synchronous sound. Popular Sovereignty stated that Settlers in Western territories would decide whether to allow slavery in their area. A significant change in the treatment of American Indians during the last half of the 19th century was the division of the tribal lands among individual members. The principle of manifest destiny was America's expansion to the West Coast was inevitable and would be pursued by the country. What contributed to the spirit of isolationism in the United States during the 1930s? The costs, both in financial terms and human sacrifices, in the participation in World War I, the desire to focus concerns and recovery from the Depression rather than on strengthening the military, a foreign policy began by George Washington, the discovery that American companies lobbied for the involvement in World War I and then profited heavily.